Despite my reservations, Brendan built and gave to Fiona her very own jetpack. Her constant, often tearful pleas for permission to use his had simply become intolerable. Brendan said it would help teach her responsibility, and I must admit, the look of pure joy on her face when he presented her with it and her spontaneous, utterly sincere promise to use it carefully forever and ever half convinced me it was a good idea. Besides, Brendan's work keeps us all so isolated here, it breaks my heart to think how lonely and bored she must be. But now she's everywhere, circling the castle, soaring over the bog, venturing out to the islands and back. And since Brendan is harder at work than ever on his liquid propellants, it falls upon me to don his jetpack and keep an eye on her whenever it appears she's getting too adventuresome. Brendan has made my job somewhat easier by fitting Fiona's jetpack with a device that causes it to automatically descend should she try to fly beyond the borders of the castle toward town. The fireworks inadvertently caused by Brendan's test launches have already created enough stir in town. Were someone to see Fiona arcing across the skies of Baylor, that would be the end of our happy life here for sure. Fortunately, working at the inn as I do almost nightly, I hear all the rumors and manage to nip those concerning Castle Malloy in the bud by attributing the strange flickering lights some people swear they've seen up here to the activities of fairies, which, to many, if not most of our neighbors, is a perfectly reasonable explanation. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Brendan has managed to fool everyone into thinking he's developing a new fuel for armored vehicles. In fact, he sometimes conducts tours of the false laboratory he maintains next to the library in order to support his subterfuge. If the truth of what he's developing in the real lab were ever discovered, I shudder to think of the consequences. Oh dear, Fiona just shot by outside the window. Time to brave the jetpack and go see what she's up to. Okay, so just a little look into their life during World War II. And Fiona is definitely still around flying around in her jetpack. Okay, I'm going to get an Easter egg by taking this doll puzzle, and now that we have the Nancy doll, we can solve it. Again, that book that I was talking about is here, so you just put in Le Pen. Also, well, no, I was going to say, like, pretty much all the answers to the other puzzle are here, but they're not in the right order, so. Okay, yes, let's do this one. Now we have all the dolls. There are no red hints on here, so that's hard. Yeah, this is going to take me a while because this is hard, so I don't even know where to start. Okay, this definitely isn't right, but it's getting us somewhere, so. No, 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 no. Okay. Boom. Wait, I just confused myself. Okay, so that is right. This is right. This is right. This is right. This is right. Yes. Yes. No, this is not fitting. Okay. Let's see. Why? Oh yeah, this is way wrong. I think this one just goes... Okay. Let's try this. So yeah, that works. That still works. This works. Yep. Oh. This one. I did not see that. So this is on the bottom level. Okay, what about this? Yes, okay, that works. That works. That works. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 I think this is it. Yeah, I think this is it. Wait, this one. Yeah. Ooh, Easter egg. So got an Easter egg. Again, there's another one that you can get by playing the darts game in a certain way. But I can't remember the number you're supposed to try to get. And then there's probably another Easter egg, but I can't remember what it is. Okay, I think we're at the end game. So we have a key, this key, which to trigger the end game you have to go to the fob and use the key on the locked box in there. Happy 6th birthday to a darling daughter. Dear Fiona, you are the light of our life. Our deepest love to you always. Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be in here. This is your home, isn't it? My name's Nancy Drew, and you're Fiona, right? Fiona Malloy? Fiona, listen, I didn't mean any harm. See, I'm looking for someone, a young man named Matt. I don't suppose you've seen him. Fiona?
No, don't touch that! No!
Nuts. Well, now you're trapped over there and I'm trapped over here. No harm done.
I take it you're Matt. I'm Nancy Drew, the maid of honor.
Thrilled, I'm sure. You wouldn't happen to have a tunnel boring machine in your pocket, would you? Or food? Do you have any food on you? A biscuit or two? Some crisps? Cocoa Kringle? Anything?
Sorry.
Oh, the only thing that woman in the shabby dress ever gives me are carrots and potatoes and such. I've been wandering around down here for days. I want something full of sugar and nice, greasy fat. Real food.
Just how did you wind up down here anyway?
I stumbled upon the entrance to a secret passage in the nursery, so I thought it would be jolly good fun to make some ghostly sorts of noise from inside it and give Kyler a fright. But all of a sudden this crow flew in through the window and came straight at my eyes. I fell backwards into the passage trying to get away from it, and the next thing I knew, I was falling through a hole in the floor. Fortunately, I only fell about 2 meters. So I got to my feet, and since it was dark and my glasses were knocked off when that crow attacked me, I started feeling my way along the wall, looking for a ladder or something so I could climb back up. But instead, my hand hit some sort of button. A siren went off, the door above me slid shut, and there I was. I yelled until I was hoarse, but no use. I was trapped. So I felt my way along the tunnel, looking for another way out, until I got to the lab you're standing in, at which point I blundered into the button you just pressed, siren goes off, door comes down, and suddenly I'm even more trapped. Not long after that, the doors at the top of the silo slid open, so I looked up, and by squinting really hard, I could see an old woman with long hair, wearing a long ratty dress, just standing there, looking down at me. I called to her, told her who I was and what had happened. I told her everything, called to her till I went hoarse again, but she just stood there. I even tossed my ring up to her, saying, "Go ahead, keep it, just get me the heck out of here." Nothing.
How often does she show up?
I haven't kept track. All I know is, every once in a while the silo slides open, and she'll be standing up there in the fresh air looking down at me. Then I get showered with vegetables, she goes away, and the silo slides shut. Whenever I talk to her, she kind of grunts as if she understands what I'm saying, yet she refuses to help me. It's like I'm her pet or something. And now there's 2 of us. Dibs on the potatoes.
Why did this door shut when I pulled that switch?
As best I can figure from the papers and drawings I've found, you're standing in the laboratory where the bloke who lived here during World War II did all his top-secret research. He was working on new forms of propulsion to be used in flying machines, rockets, that sort of thing. Apparently, to keep unwanted visitors out, he planted devices which would allow him, at the push of a button, to seal off the lab. This gate and all the others will go up when our hostess decides to feed us. Opening those silo doors seems to reset everything. Opening those silo doors is also the only way out of here. Believe me, I know.
Kyler's trying her best not to show it, but she's really worried about you.
That's the worst of it, knowing that my eagerness to play a silly prank on her is going to wind up ruining the wedding. She's going to be so disappointed and humiliated and appalled. She'll never forgive me. What an idiot I am. I love her so much, and I am so lucky a mongrel like me landing someone as smart and beautiful as her, and now, whether I ever get out of here or not, I'm going to lose her. What an unthinking, short-sighted, immature idiot.
For a while, Kit was convinced you disappeared because you had decided you didn't want to marry Kyler after all.
I'm not surprised. The fact is, soon after we got here, he tried to tell me I was about to make a colossal mistake and that I should call off the wedding. Such wishful thinking on his part is exactly why I didn't ask him to be my best man. Oh, I made up some excuse about office politics and occupational expediency, but Kit was and is, and hopefully always will be, my best friend. But having him be my best man knowing he's still smitten with Kyler? I figured I'd pass.
Mr. Delaney, the caretaker? He thinks you were spirited away by fairies.
I actually missed that superstitious, super ridiculous old fossil. Kit and I spent the better part of an evening rigging line in the garden so we could fool him into thinking a leprechaun was moving through the bushes. Only a branch snapped off and whacked Kit in the eye, and that was that. Except, I must admit, seeing as I have no idea who or what that thing is that has us trapped down here, Mr. Delaney might not be all that wrong.
I'm pretty sure her name's Fiona. She's the daughter of Brendan Malloy, the guy who was doing all the research down here. Everyone thought she was killed along with her parents when this place exploded. But she wasn't, and she's been wandering around in the bog near the castle ever since.
So, if our wedding ever does take place, It looks like I'll end up with a crazy in-law after all.
I'll be in here checking everything out, okay?
You do that.
So, this game is so unhinged. Basically, it's like Fiona is a 70, 80-year-old woman flying around on a jetpack, doing all sorts of stuff. And she, never learned, she never got an education because her parents died when she was 6. And yeah, it's just like a mess. She's trapped us down here, so the only way out is to use this rocket to get out through these doors up here. So yeah, Brendan Malloy was building a rocket. Makes sense, right?
Did you know there was a button here that says, in case of lockdown, press to open?
What? You mean something that could open up a way to escape was right under my nose the whole time? That does it. If I get out of here, I'm having that eye surgery. My weak stomach will just have to get over it.
This is a very fun puzzle. Infamous puzzle. So basically this notebook tells us how to start the rocket. Blah blah blah, test possibility. That's more important. So you have to use fin type 1 and you have to make all these match at the bottom of the rocket. We'll do that later. Test launch. Insert safety key to power on, then flip the first switch to check continuity. Green light indicates correct wire connection. Arm rocket with second switch before initiating countdown. Flip third switch to launch. And we need this key. Don't ask me how this works, but we need to put all of these elements, or I guess chemicals, in the correct categories in order to grab the key with our claw. And we need to use the key here. And that's how we start it. But yeah, so there's a lot of puzzles to do in here. The first one I'm going to do is the chemical puzzle, just because it takes the longest. But here are the categories. So category 1 is NH3, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, aluminum, hydrogen. Category 2 is silver, water, chlorine, liquid oxygen, carbon, iodine. Category 3 is fluorine, alabamine, mercury, bromine, radon, and cesium. And I don't think we have a category 4. So you're supposed to use like the chemical or the elemental table to solve this, but yeah, okay, there's no category. That's what I thought. So first let's get rid of NH3. And this one goes into category 1. And if you make one wrong move while doing this puzzle, the whole thing blows up. I don't think I've ever done this puzzle and avoided a blow up at all, but I'm going to try. Okay, H2O goes in category 2, but we can't put that there because these are in the way. So hydrogen goes into category 1. Now, HG, which, don't quote me on this, but I think that's Mercury? I don't know what that is. But HG goes into category 3. So, that's a problem because it's kind of in the way. But iodine goes in 2. We can do that one. One goes in 1. This phosphorus goes in 1, 2. I forgot that one goes into 2. Okay, see? Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of those. Okay, but at least you don't have to start completely over. That would be terrible. You just redo the one you just did. Okay, iodine goes in category 2, not category 1. Got it. F goes into 3. I'm gonna try to do this, but it's a little scary. You do P? No, I don't think so. I think we need to do Mercury. And then close it before you do that, because still hit things. Okay. Now let's do H2O. I don't know if I can do this. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Okay. 8 shows in 2. I keep thinking everything's in 1. And it's not. Potassium. Where does potassium? Potassium is 1. Phosphorus is 1. Great. We only died once. Okay, so that's the first step here. And I'll probably do the rest of the rocket puzzle in my next and I think final video for Haunting of Castle Malloy.